Mental health and wellness. It's a great big topic that has been going around. There are many groups and many people out there helping others with their mental health and their mental wellness. It has become a great problem in the world. I don't know that we should call it as much a problem as a growth process. More people are aware that they can be thinking and operating differently, that they can be improving and healing their wounds, their way of thinking, their anxieties, their frustrations, their anger issues, their depression. Some people are even over happy. Some people are overconfident, over controlled, and can learn how to tame their over specialized skills, let's call them. Mental wellness it really is something that we all need to work on. And with Live Smart Foundational Development, I'd like to take it to a different level of and into conversational, into group work, into sharing and caring amongst each other and ourselves, to work on our anxieties. What is it that makes us stress so much that we almost become paralyzed and incapable or unable to move forward, unable to create from our hearts, where we have passion, work that we can actually share with the world? Why can't we? What is stopping us? What is standing in our way? What are the obstacles that we actually need to break down, crumble, and crash? I'd like to bring it forward in a more super simple version of communication, sharing, caring, sharing perspectives. Not everything needs to be done through psychology or psychiatry or the more professional methods. I hope mine becomes professional in a sense, but from a more casual perspective. I have done esoteric healing. I have done counseling and studied all those processes. My adult life has been largely a study of human nature in many areas. So I've worked in preschool, I've been a swimming teacher, I've been a travel agent, and you'd think through all of those that those are the skills I've had, and people can maybe stereotype me in that. It's not actually what all I've done. I've been dealing with people, and it's always been a people business and the people study of. Then I did go into Reiki healing. I have gone into metaphysics, applied metaphysics as well on the side. And much of my work, my own work, personally or privately, has been in the study of people, children, teenagers, older people, geriatrics as well. So I want to say I've worked with them, but I've worked with them on a more casual basis. And with Live Smart Foundational Development, all the experience that I've gathered within myself and with others that I have worked with, lived with, dealt with, I'd like to share how differently we can move forward, how differently we can think going forward, how differently we can grow our processes together through casual conversation. When I say casual, it's not like when you sit back and have a glass of wine and just like casually chit-chat. It'll be a bit more formal, but in a casual setting. I want people to be comfortable. I want people to feel that it is okay to share their stories, their issues. So, mental wellness improves with communication. It improves with sharing. It improves with learning new perspectives on how to acknowledge and deal with what they're going through. What were their past associations? How did we get to a situation of thinking, feeling, and dealing in an anxious manner? What can we share with each other, and how can we help each other grow? There's 8.5 billion of us walking this planet side by side. Nobody knows what the next person's about. Everybody's issues are huge, big secrets, because of old, we were all meant to just carry ourselves, don't get involved, don't bother other people with your nonsense. Don't pester anybody. And why not? It's not that you become the center of the next person's world. They're also going through stuff. And in having conversations, it doesn't all have to be small talk and shallow nonsense. It can actually develop into communications of sharing where are we at, how did we get to the situation, and how would other people that don't have as bigger issues with what I've got a bigger issue deal with the situation, so we can look at things differently, learn new perspectives, learn from other people's perceptions on how they see us. We don't know how other people see us. We like to think other people see us this way, but we don't know how other people see us. Oftentimes you want to know, how does a person understand where I'm coming from? And they've got a completely different perspective of who they see you to be. So it's lovely to have a communication and group conversations with other people within other groups, and learn how to improve our mental wellness. And you won't believe when other people actually understand where you are coming from, and other people understand you more. You'll get better understanding, you'll get clarity of a situation. Some people might actually move out of your space. Whether you want that to happen or not, it might just give them a space or a chance to actually say, I'm not ready to deal with this right now. And you can, from a stronger perspective and with support of others, understand, okay, they need time away, they need to go on their journey, take time out and come back. Or they're going to understand you even more and actually grow your relationship tighter, because they now know and understand you better. So it won't be as itchy scratchy, if that's a good analogy, or it'll be a warmer, more loving understanding in how to move forward, in understanding where you're coming from and how you're seeing certain scenarios, and the same via another person. Within your groups, you're going to meet new people who have similar issues or different issues, but issues nonetheless that we can actually grow with and learn to help each other with. So, in other people understanding your stuff, you get to understand their stuff as well. So for me, the mental wellness, the mental health growth through Live Smart Foundational Development is what I want to grow. We can learn to have more fun together. We can learn more fun ways of moving forward. So serious conversations, but at the same time, breaking it down into more understanding, where you can actually have a laugh at yourself and you can have a laugh at each other. Not to laugh and be ugly and rude and derogatory is one of the terms, but point fingers. We can point fingers one way and we can point fingers another. I used to teach swimming as well, and you'd get some children who would laugh at another child who couldn't do something. Kids are beautiful. Nothing is kept secret. Out of the mouth of babes is a true thing, and children are incredible in chucking it out there. And they'd laugh at that one because he couldn't swim backstroke. And I actually said to a few kids actually, when I was teaching swimming, I'm pretty much out there. So, well, if you're laughing at them about something, I'm going to find something they can laugh at you about. But I never let it get that far, because to be laughed at where you've got an issue is actually a little bit soul destroying. And people need to understand that you need to grow through the process where you can eventually turn around and laugh at yourself. Because, until you can get to that point of laughing at yourself, you need to work through the pain, the fear, the anger, the whatever it is that got you to the situation where you are struggling with whatever it is that you're struggling with. And anything that you struggle with is a real situation. We need to acknowledge that in people. And with these children, I actually used to teach them, okay, so you're struggling with that one and you're struggling with that one. Let's watch each other. See how he does that. And let's see how she does that. Now we're going to learn, how do they do it? Let's see if you can get the skill right, learning how they're doing it. And that's kind of how I eventually used to run my swimming lessons. It's pretty much how I run anything and do things. It's like, where you've got a strength, where you've got a weakness, let's crisscross them. And let's see how they develop it. How is the thinking from another person to another? You don't know how other people think. What goes on in here and what comes out of here often are two very different things. Because, society says this is how you must be and this is how you must act and this is how your parents said or granny said or whoever it was that brought you up. You have a certain conditioning of how you need to behave. And sometimes that's not how you need to behave in your own truth of being, in your own self. And you need to be okay. What's going on in your head, you need to learn to kind of bleed out into the world and let everybody else know. I can honestly say my husband, he's such a beautiful person. Inside our walls, he is free, open, he acts silly, he can be fun, he sings, he dances, and he can do all sorts of things. But the minute he steps outside of the doors into the world, he's guarded, he's composed, he will not show other people for fear that they'll laugh at him. And they'll laugh at him because they see such joy in his behavior. I wish other people could see it, and it's a process that many of us need to work through in being able to show your true self and be vulnerable out in the world. But it's hard for many people. Very, very hard. I like to think I'm pretty much where I am as I'm talking now. I would be out there in the world, but I have caught myself out in certain scenarios where I'm like, in this crowd, I'm not going to just blurt out and show who I am. I'm not going to pick up the microphone and do karaoke when I love karaoke. But those scenarios can get broken down. And the more familiar you become with people and the more brave you get to share who you are with other people, the truth of who you are, the real you is what I hope we can get Live Smart Foundational Development to develop, is get those bridges, foundations, build bridges, grow new foundations. So foundational development is about self-development at its best, breaking it down moment by moment, issue by issue, story by story, person to person, group to group, community to community, forward thinking, forward movement, mental wellness at its best, health, wellness, all sorts of areas that we can actually develop and become better people. And share your scenarios with me, please, at livesmartfd@gmail.com. livesmartfd for foundational development @gmail.com. Share your stories, share your scenarios. I look forward to sharing videos with the world. I won't share names and areas or anything like that. I like to rather just share a scenario where we can show people that they're not the only ones with situations, dynamics, issues that are struggling, where we can actually grow our mental wellness through foundational development together within our own individual paths, holding hands, and let's see where we can go. Where can we take foundational development as a movement in forward thinking, forward movement, going forward, getting out of the stuckness together. I look forward to sharing, to chatting with you and learning more about you people out there.